Once upon a time, a boy called Zack, as brave as can be, lived in a town right next to the sea. He was smart as a whip and lived on a farm, and life was quite peaceful, relaxing and calm. The town itself was based around fishing. Most people were happy, yet some of them wishing that a daring new life of adventure awaited. But most of these thoughts were quickly deflated. Until one lovely morning, when the birds were full cry as fluffy white clouds drifted past in the sky, and crusty old Jimmy, who worked down at Peg's, headed out for a bit of a stretch of his legs.
Pirates!
If excitement they wanted, excitement they got. The peace in the air disappeared in a shot, with townspeople screaming as each of them tried to desperately find themselves somewhere to hide. Now, when I say everyone running round yelling, perhaps that might be a small lie I am telling. For our hero, who'd heard the desperate cry, responded with merely a twinkling eye. No hiding or screaming or anything petty. He whistled and skipped on down to the jetty, and just as he got there, a terrible sight, as the pirate ship pulled in, all ready to fight. The pirates looked grumpy, the pirates looked mad, as they arred and they gnashed the few teeth that they had. They brandished their swords with a flash of great flare, as the pong from their underarms clogged up the air. Zack was merely amused by this rabble. He knew they were just after mischief and trouble. "Good day," he said sweetly, "and welcome to town. Would you all like me to show you around?" The dread pirate captain was none too amused. He was famous on board for his rather short fuse. With a menacing sneer you could hear from afar, he shouted, "We're pirates! Be gone with you! Arr!" Now most people would turn into wobbling jelly, confronted by such an obnoxious big smelly. Not Zack, he asked with a devilish grin. And what kind of business would pirates be in?
You've not heard of pirates?
He now spat as he spoke.
Is this some kind of ridiculous joke? What nincompoop parents would not teach their child that pirates are frightening and dangerous and wild?
Zack was having a wonderful laugh at the bad-tempered captain who needed a bath. "Well, maybe," he said, "I would see it more clearly if you and your crewmates were actually scary." Oh, that did it. The captain had lost the last grain of all self-control that was left in his brain. His honour insulted, he sucked in a breath as he took a step backward and cried, "To the death!" But sadly the captain had clearly not seen how close to the edge of the dock he had been. His step to the rear was a trifle macabre, an unglamorous backflip straight into the harbour. And as fate would have it, we have to bemoan, the captain was not in the sea on his own. A passing great white, who'd been looking for lunch, promptly gobbled him up with a sickening crunch. Back up on the dock, there was nary a sound, as the rest of the pirate crew all came around to the fact that their chief, without any goodbyes, had come to a sudden and salty demise. Poor Zack. He never intended to send the captain to such a watery end. He turned to the crew to say he was sorry, but as it turns out, he shouldn't have worried. Then suddenly Zack was whisked in the air and paraded through town with heroic fanfare by the pirates, this seemingly frightening mob who, as it turned out, had all hated their job. And every year now, with untold enjoyment, the pirates, who now have more honest employment, return to the town for a bit of a do, to say a big thanks to I'm sure you know who.